Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and we are going to be showing off some stuff that I got from multiple different stores. I did all of this in one day of shopping, so funny enough, I'm actually recording this on the exact same day that I recorded the last video that I uploaded. What ended up happening was I woke up for work, recorded a video right beforehand, before going into work. I go into work, realize I'm not working that day, and figured, you know what? I haven't really gone out in a while on my own, so I figured I would just give myself a cool little mental health day, do a little shopping spree, and just go around. So I went to Best Buy, I went to Retro Relics in Lake Grove, New York, and then I went to Time Warp in Lake Grove, New York. The stores were actually right next to each other. As a matter of fact, Time Warp had a booth inside of Retro Relics, so pretty much shopped at the same store despite them being in two different store locations, even though they were right next to each other. So I had some pretty cool stuff to pick up today. Really only went in just to kind of check them out, but you know me, if I find something that I like that looks really cool, I'm going to end up picking it up. So I got a lot of stuff today. I really got a lot more than I should have, but this is really cool. I definitely made it a really cool day, and I'm going to probably be hurting from this for a little bit in terms of my wallet, but honestly, it was all worth it. Got some really cool stuff, and I'm very excited to show you guys everything that I got. So I didn't really get much from Best Buy, although I did get a few cables that I don't really feel like showing in this video because most of them aren't really gaming related and stuff I feel like I need to show off. But basically, I got two games that I've been meaning to add to my collection to keep sealed for quite a decent amount of time. One of them that I didn't know was a Best Buy exclusive, but first one being Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition. I wanted a sealed copy of the Series X version for a while. What ended up happening too was I bought one off of GameStop's website. It had this cover on it. It didn't say Best Buy exclusive, obviously. It showed it being the Series X version. When I got it in, it was the Xbox One version. So technically, this also is the Xbox One version. It's just rebranded to be Series X as well. But I really wanted this specific cover just so I can technically have more games in my Series X catalog. So I guess GameStop just had the cover wrong on their page and would just send Xbox One copies to anyone inquiring about this game. But I go into Best Buy today, see this cover, realize it's Best Buy exclusive, and said, okay, screw it. It's only like $10. Let's just do it. So got Rainbow Six Siege, kept it sealed, and I'm going to be keeping it sealed. Another game I'm keeping sealed happens to be GTA 5 for the Series X. So if you guys didn't know already, when this came to next gen, it came digitally first. So when they first launched, I got the Xbox Series X and the PS5 version digitally on my PS5 and the Series X. I wanted to get a sealed copy of this for a while, but was just waiting for the price to drop. I was going to do it during Pro Week, but it wasn't really dropping in price. It stayed at its full price. A majority of the games during last week's Pro sale went back to their retail price since they were doing the deal of buy one get one and didn't want to have the games discounted on top of that. So this game was $40 there. I kept thinking about it in the back of my head to finally do it because I do have a sealed PS5 copy as well now. But I went to Best Buy, so it was only $20, which is the price I wanted it to go down to, and I figured I'd do it there. The thing with GameStop, and the reason why I didn't just order it online a long time ago, is because the last copy of a game, they always take out of the seal and display the case on the wall. And I wanted a sealed copy, and I knew if I bought it from GameStop, there was at least a 50-50 chance that I was going to be getting an open version of the game. So I figured I would wait till I can see a sealed copy in person and just buy it then. That's exactly what I did. I did it at Best Buy, despite me, usually getting a GameStop discount when I get it at GameStop. But saw it was there, figured I might as well do it. I wanted to get it for a while, so now I finally have it. So now we're moving on to the retro stuff that I got today, and there wasn't a lot of stuff, but there were some pretty big things I ended up picking up today just because I found them for decent prices and figured there were things I wanted to add anyway, so I just went and did it. This was a day I felt like just going all out, so I went for it. This is the last Sega console I needed in my collection. I have the Genesis, I have the Saturn, I have the Dreamcast, I have the Game Gear. So this was the last one I needed. I've wanted it for a long time. I was going to just get the power-based converter for the Genesis, but I knew that I would be angry with myself if I did that rather than getting the official console. I am probably going to get the power-based converter eventually to make more space in my game setup and just keep this in my closet. But here we go. I finally got myself the Sega Master System. So I've wanted this console for a very long time. I remember not knowing it existed for the longest time, thinking that the Genesis was the first. And then I did a little research. I was only like 12, 13 years old when looking into this stuff. So I did a little bit of research and saw that they attempted something in North America, but the NES just completely destroyed it. But what I didn't know was that this was a decent bit more powerful than the NES, and a lot of games that came out on both ended up having the definitive versions be on here. So I've always wanted to play this system just to see how those games work, because there were a lot of games on the NES I played during my childhood that I want to play the definitive versions of. And this was just the console I've wanted to get my hands on for a while. It seems to be one of the more expensive Sega consoles, the Genesis being the cheapest one, followed by the Dreamcast, followed by the Saturn. And this usually goes around the price of the Dreamcast and the Saturn, so never can really find it perfect, but I did get it for about $120 today. Not too bad. It came with the actual light gun as well, and it came with the controller and all the cables and everything I needed for it. So I'm very happy that I was finally able to get my hands on this thing. It's been one I wanted to add to the collection for a long time. This has been very long overdue. So I have it now. I'm definitely going to be playing a ton of it just to finally get my experience of playing it. So that wasn't the only console that I picked up today. I actually ended up picking out 3 more. I don't know what it is with me, but my common trend is it's either 1 or it's like 4. So here we go again. I ended up also picking myself up a GBA for $80. I've wanted to get another GBA for a long time. Last one I had was way back in like 2012 when I sold it. So I've been wanting to get one in my collection again for a long time just because I have a ton of GBA games, and although I have a DS Lite, I've always preferred the feel of something like this. I wanted the SP to be fair, but considering this thing was only $80, I figured I'd just go for it. I don't really care that it doesn't have the backlit screen. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll do one of those cool IPS mods, but I finally have myself a GBA for the first time in over 10 years, so very happy to have it to my collection. I also ended up picking up another DSi. This one was only $65. This one essentially is just the white DSi, nothing more special about that. I do want to get all the colors of the DSi eventually since they don't go for that expensive. They're pretty cheap for the most part. Same with like the regular DSs and the DSi XLs as well. Most of them go for under $100 for the most part, so somewhere down the line I would like to do that. I also got a Japanese DSi, but this one I'm not keeping. This one I'm giving to my friends. So I went in there and figured, all right, I know he's into this kind of stuff, like into Japanese culture and all that, so I figured I would just buy it and give it to him. If he doesn't want it, then I'll keep it. Why not? It's this version of the DSi. It's got the Japanese text on the back. I think this one looks really cool. I don't know if they made one of these in the US, but nonetheless, it's still a really cool color. So in terms of the consoles that I got from that store, was the GBA, the 2 DSIs, and the Sega Master System. So 4 consoles in one day. I gotta stop doing that. I think we are now at 60 consoles if we count all the doubles and just all the pieces of hardware that I have in my collection now. So other than the console, I did get some games from the 2 stores as well. Like I said before, they had one store and then they had a booth inside of another store. So I technically bought from the same store, but I'm going to call them 2 stores since they were 2 separate locations at that point. So basically, I ended up finding something that I never thought I would ever see in person. Usually when I'm looking for something like this, I look online and I'm specifically looking for that specific item. But I was just in the store completely blown away by the fact that they even had this on hand. That was a sealed copy of Guitar Hero 2 for the Xbox 360. You guys know I am a major Guitar Hero fan, and seeing this in the store, I quite literally jumped in excitement. Like, I cannot believe that this was there. I don't believe this is like a perfect condition seal, considering on the inside there definitely are some scratches and there definitely are some wear and scratches on the seal as well. But nonetheless, I have a sealed copy of one of my favorite games of all time, and as a major Guitar Hero fan, it is so cool to have this in my collection. They were only selling it for $28 as well, so I don't know what the value of something like this would be, and honestly, I don't care. The fact that I was able to find one of these things in person is just really cool, and I am not going to be opening this thing because, I'm a collector. I already have a copy of Guitar Hero 2. Why am I going to open the sealed one? But really cool. Just honestly, all around, just absolutely blown away that I was able to see something like this in person. The rest of these games were a lot smaller. I'm pretty sure I also ended up losing one of them because I feel like I walked out with 4 Game Gear games, but I only saw 3 in the bag. So either I dropped it in my car or I dropped it in the street somewhere and it's gone forever. But it's not a big deal because it was only like $5. But regardless, I did end up picking up some more games, mostly stuff that I just felt like adding, but stuff that I'm definitely going to be playing without a doubt. So we got Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear that I got for $12. We got Tasmania for the Game Gear. I have a feeling this is going to be like a dumbed down version of it, considering that this is probably going to be 8-bit compared to the 16-bit Genesis one. And then we got Sonic Chaos, which I know absolutely nothing about, so I figured I'd just pick up these Game Gear titles. I feel like I also picked up something else. I don't remember exactly what it was. I feel like it might have been Lion King that I might have dropped if that was one that I was picking up. Or it could have been another Sonic game. Honestly, I don't remember, and I'm a little concerned on where that game went. But regardless, I know it wasn't expensive, so worst case scenario, I lost it. it's not the biggest deal in the world. But the rest of the games I got here were ones that I actually did end up wanting to play. I have Lego Star Wars 2 right here for the PSP, and this is the actual console port of Lego Star Wars 2 played on the PSP. It's not like the DS version where they dumbed it down, or like what they did for the complete saga. This is the actual console port just on the PSP instead. So definitely wanted to get a portable version of this because this is my favorite Lego game of all time, and it's one that I'm definitely going to be playing. This one I got for only $10. Then we got Lost Planet for only $4. One that I've heard has a pretty good franchise, and it's made by Capcom, so you obviously can't go wrong with them. And very lastly, a game that I've always wanted to have in my collection, but for some reason every place like has it like $60 or more. This one was only $20. I don't have the bongos for it, but Donkey Konga for the GameCube. And once I get the bongos, I'm hooking it up to my RefNet adapter, and I'm going to play Clone Hero on the thing, because you can... Basically, it detects the microphone as an input, so if I were to put it on orange and go it would detect like so many fast inputs that I would do really stupidly fast stuff. If you want to see a video on that, Asai did something with Clone Hero with that, and it was just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So that is everything I got today, guys. It was really quite a decent amount of stuff, and I'm happy with what I have here. I am going to definitely be playing a majority of what I have here compared to a lot of the other ones where I'm just adding stuff to my collection. Most of the stuff here was actually stuff I've wanted for a decent amount of time, especially the Game Boy Advance, Guitar Hero 2 sealed, and just the sealed GTA 5 as well. So at that point, that's everything here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one.